In Wakoko hoofs of blue and gold, Ryan triumphantly pulled Excalibur from the stone, while Tedros, still with a grounded body and oculus face, was fastened to his knees by Gus. In the foreground, the people of Camelot cheered. Sophie was in the scenes too, hands clasped, a laughing smile on her face as she watched her new husband-to-be. The scene looked like so perfectly rendered, so real, that Hotz had to remind himself that it hadn't happened that way at all. He glanced at Sophie, who was staring listlessly at the rug, as if the lie might as well be the truth. Hotz scanned the room for Ryan's twin. The snake was nowhere to be seen. But Ryan wasn't alone. Those three strange sisters that Hotz had seen released from jail lurked at the base of the steps beneath the stage, cloaked in shadow. Two pirates guards in helmets and full armor stood on either side of them. The sisters seemed tense, their bare feet twitching, as they watched Ryan gaze into each green marble in the boss. These are the RSVPs to the wedding, he said. Many rulers sent messages showing me how excited their kingdoms are about their new king and queen. With a lit finger, he floated a handful of green marbles into the air, which cast smoky green projections of scenes from around the woods. Magic carpets departing in Shasaba from a station labeled Wedding Towers, with mile-long lines of passengers waiting their turn, a beachside congregation in Uti, where thousands gathered to watch Lion's Mane's new tail glow against the northern lights, a fierce competition in Maidenfell to see who would represent the kingdom in the circus of talents, young Christos beaming classmates in Malabar Hills, holding a sign, Friends of Crystal, Future Knights. Every kingdom in the Endless Woods accepted the invitation, said Ryan. Every single one. Then he held up a red marble from the boss. Except this one. His eyes lowered to the three hugs. And its leader was kind enough to send a message too. A projection leaped out of the ball in Ryan's hand with a greasy, bearded man glaring daggers at the king. Hotz and Sophie's eyes widened, recognizing him at once. I'm sorry to decline your invitation, Your Highness, the Sheriff of Nottingham said. But as long as my daughter is in your dungeons, Camelot is an enemy of Nottingham. He loomed closer in the projection. By the way, strange coincidence, isn't it? That the man who robbed my prison and freed the snake is now the captain of your guard. Kay's his name, isn't it? Why would he want to go freeing the snake? One thing I do know. You robbed me, and soon I'll rob you. The message flew back into the marble, which rolled out of Ryan's hand and clinked gently into the bus. The king looked at the three sisters. You have one job, to keep the kingdoms on my side until the wedding. All the kingdoms, and you can't even do that. The low-voiced sister cleared her throat. Just release Dot and the problem will disappear. So it won't cause trouble when she's free. I agree with Alpa, said the high-pitched one. You don't need her. Dot's dumb as a slug. That's how we sprung Japheth out of prison, by using her. Beth knows right, the hissy third nodded. Nip the problem in the bud. The girl's useless to you. Ryan took a sip of tea. I see. A leader of a kingdom threatens to attack me, and you'd like to kindly return his daughter. The three hags drifted on bony legs like egrets. The king turned to a guard. Send a team to kill the sheriff. Make it look like supporters of Tetros did it. Then he gazed darkly at the sisters. As for you, I'll think long and hard about what happens to advisors whose advice a king no longer takes. Get out! The three has sunk their heads and skittered from the room. As they exited, Kay hustled in and blew past the pirate's guards. Sir, he said, today's Camelot's caviar. Ryan took it from his captain. From the balcony, Hot could see the front page headline. Agatha safe at school for good and evil, leading a rebel army against King Ryan. A real captain would be catching Agatha instead of giving me old news, said the king. Japheth's map already told me she had made it to school. Lucky for you and your men, no one outside Camelot will believe it, and you'll have her in my dungeons soon in love. He saw Kay's expression. What is it? Kay handed over 2 more newspapers. The Nottingham News. Agatha safe at school. Stirring a rebel army. The Sherwood Forest Report. Agatha lives. Real Queen of Camelot's leading army against Ryan.